Hi, Kayla here. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to film a Booktube Newbie Tag because I'm new to YouTube. I've been uploading videos now for a few weeks maybe, and so I wanted to do this video to let you know who I am. So I have the questions here on my phone. You can see my brother's cats chilling. They're both here. That's Arthur and that's Charlie. If they come up in the video, I hope that you will appreciate their cuteness. I'm wearing my orange Halloween shirt today, even though it's only the summertime. Okay, so let's keep going. So question number one, why did you start this channel? So there's a lot of reasons why I decided to start this channel. First of all, I decided for it to be about books because I like to read a lot. I've always loved reading. And even though some people may not care what I have to say, I also wanted to use my videos as a diary for myself, or like my reading journal, because I forget very easily. So I'll read a book and then I'll try to think about it, you know, years down the road, and it's like, I don't remember that book. So by making these videos, I can just go back and look myself. I can like see what I was thinking at the time. I could see what like the summary was. And I think it also is cool because I can look back, you know, years from now and see how I have changed and see like what I used to think, or if I reread a book and be like, oh, I think differently now. So anyway, I'm using this channel as a diary for myself about the books that I journey through. And it's kind of cool that I get to share it with other people. Secondly, I wanted to make a video about books because I don't have friends that like reading books, so I have no one to talk to about it. So luckily my boyfriend likes to read nonfiction, and so we have a lot of discussions about what we're reading, and we're always bouncing ideas off of each other, and it's some of my favorite discussions that I have. He's big into nonfiction, and I read maybe 1 or 2 nonfiction books a month. So it's really great having those kind of discussions. And so I thought it'd be so cool if I had a place to make friends that also loved books and that wanted to talk about books. So that's a long story, not short. So that's mainly why I want to start this. Question 2, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to Booktube? I feel like I have a somewhat unique perspective because I have a genetic disease called cystic fibrosis. And so I feel like having an issue like that, I know some of you may have your own battles that you face. I just think having something like that really makes you appreciate life. And so I feel like reading a lot of these books, especially the books I like to read, are ones where people have illnesses, because I feel like I can relate to them. And a lot of people just don't like reading books like that. Like, for example, Fault in Our Stars is one of my favorite books about a girl that has lung cancer. 5 Feet Apart is about people that have cystic fibrosis, which I 100% relate to. So, but there's other books. There's so many books about people that are sick or dealing with some kind of health issues. And I feel like a lot of people just kind of shy away from them, or like, anyway, I feel like that's like one perspective I can bring. I'm actually a sick person. And so I feel like I have a different perspective than like some people may. Okay, question 3, what are you most excited for about this new channel? I think I'm most excited to talk to people about books. I think that's something that I'm missing in my life. I want people to tell me book recommendations. I don't really get that anywhere else besides other people's YouTube videos, but I would like to make friends here and have them be like, Kayla, I just read this really amazing book and it was about blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be like, ooh, let me look it up. And then like add it to my list. And I love book shopping a lot. And so when I'm out walking around a bookstore, that'll be a book I'm like, ooh, let me look at this. So I would love for that to happen. I would love to make friends that will talk to me about books and share their opinions too, because it's nice to have more than just my opinion. I would like to see what other people feel about books and like what they gained from reading that certain novel. So it's question 4. Why do you love reading? I love reading because it takes me to another world. So sometimes I want to escape. I read a lot growing up because I was a shy girl. I still am very shy. And there were a lot of times that I was stuck in a hospital or stuck at home IVs. And when you're stuck at home, which I guess everyone can kind of relate to now, being stuck at home for a while, reading books, watching movies, talking to your friends or family is like some of the major things that you do. So I remember so many times being in the hospital, I would be reading books and I would be escaping into them and kind of pressing pause on my actual life. So I think books are my escape. Some people like video games or movies or going out and doing stuff. I like to read books. I also love watching movies and YouTube, Netflix, and book. I keep saying book number 5. Question number 5. What book or series got you into reading? Ooh, I think when I was a kid, I loved Nancy Drew and I loved Goosebumps. I'd say within like the last 10 years or something. Let's see, of course, you know, I was super into Twilight. I think I was in high school when Twilight came out. Maybe college, I don't even remember. Because when Fault in Our Stars came out, I cried so much in that book just because I was like, why do I relate? And then I wanted to see the movie. I cried the whole movie. Anyway, I think I read that book. I finished it. I think I told everybody I knew. I feel like that book, Fault in Our Stars by John Green, was the one that really kicked off my obsession for reading. So I read that years ago before the movie came out is when I read it. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I feel like my number one thing is, what is your favorite book? I just love knowing what people's like go-to book is. For me, I guess you can tell it's like Fault in Our Stars. I absolutely love that book. I will reread that numerous times. I like knowing what people's favorite books are because it's like you get a glimpse kind of into their life. So I just really like that. And of course, why it's their favorite book, like why they connected to it so much or why they think it's their favorite book. So for mine, Fault in Our Stars, it's my favorite because I felt like I can identify with that character. And we have like, I just remember there's like one line in that book that was like, my lungs suck at being lungs. And I was like, girl, I understand. Mine too. 7, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I already know the answer to this. I think it is the whole putting yourself out there and not being afraid of being embarrassed. So I would say the biggest challenge would be being embarrassed of no one watching your videos. That's why my main objective was, this is going to be my diary of my books. This is my book journal videos. This channel is mostly for me, but I don't mind other people sharing it with me. Question 8, when did you start reading? I started reading books in elementary school. I was very into reading. It was always hard for me to make friends. Like I said, I was shy. And so books were just a fun hobby I had. So I remember I was in elementary school and my mom would take me and my siblings to the library quite often. And it was always such a highlight for me. It was going to the library. And I remember in elementary school, I was obsessed with the American Girl books, like Meet Samantha, Meet Kelly, like those ones. Those were my, like, I zoomed to that section of the library and I was just want all these, and also Goosebumps and like scary books. So I've always been into scary stuff ever since I was in elementary school. And I've read ever since then. There's times where I just get in kind of a lull and I don't read too much, but I pretty much always have a book somewhere that I'm reading, either on my nightstand and it'll take me months to get through it, or an ebook, but I've always been an avid reader. Number 9, where do you read? I read anywhere. Now that I have a Kindle, I got my Kindle like a year or two ago. I take it with me like whenever I go on a trip, or I spend hours and hours and hours in doctor's offices and at different doctors and like blood draws and, you know, hospitals. Thank goodness not lately. I've started a new drug called Trikafta, which has kind of been a savior to many people with cystic fibrosis. So luckily I'm not as sick as I used to be, but I will read anywhere. I think my favorite places to read are just sitting in my chair in my room. I have like a gaming chair next to my desk and I have a TV set up there. And I play YouTube videos that are like, it's like coffee shop jazz. So there's like pictures of, or it feels like you're in a coffee shop and there's jazz music playing. I'll turn that on, I'll read. I mostly read too when I do my breathing treatments daily. I do about 2 hours a day, like 1 in the morning, 1 at night. I do extra if I'm feeling sick or congested. And I have designated those hours of treatments to be my reading time or my movie time, the time where I'm not gonna think about work or anything random. It's like my fun time. So I at least get to read an hour or 2 a day. I also like reading while I exercise, so I'll try to use a treadmill or a bike, or if I ever go to the gym, I will try to read, because that's like a good solid, 30, 40 minutes of reading, and it makes the exercising a little more enjoyable. So I guess that's where I mostly read. Recently I went to the beach to read. I don't normally do that, but I actually enjoyed it very much, except I got sunburnt even though I put on sunscreen 8 times. My skin is very sensitive. Number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? I gravitate towards YA and mysteries. So any mysteries, also cozy mysteries is a big thing for me. I like to collect cozy mysteries. I don't read them as often as I'd like to. Come Halloween, you will see I will read mostly cozy mysteries or scary books. So YA definitely. I want to try to read more things. I try to read one nonfiction at least a month. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my Booktube Newbie Tag, and I hope that you get to know me better throughout these videos moving forward. And I'm so grateful that you watched this and that someone posted that I should do this. They left a comment that I should do this tag, and so I thank you for encouraging me to do so. Thank you so much. Bye! Hello, Charlie. Hi. Hello, Arthur. Hi.